Can I check the back? Sure. Quick and dirty. Customer asked for a very popular toy at Xmas. Staff stated we did not have any. No one had any. She insisted the employee check the back. He explained there is no back, everything is brought in and put directly on the shelf. The only thing in the back is the cardboard crusher and empty stocking carts. She insisted he check. He refused. She asked for the manager on duty. Me. I happily went to the back, crushed some cardboard, texted my husband, swept the truck bay, threw out trash. That was in 2018. I hope she is still waiting there for her damn Hatchimal. I used to work at a big box store and I just gave up telling them we didn't have stuff in the back. I'd say sure, go to the back, chat with whoever was doing stuff back there for 5 minutes, then come back and say no luck. Sorry. For me, check the back translates to go take a extra 15 in Walmartese. I had a customer a few years ago ask for something. I went back to the back, checked for it, didn't have it and told the customer. Literally 10 seconds later I had another customer ask for that same item, and this is about how the conversation yet. Me. We don't have that item. Customer. I know you have it. Me. I just went to the back to check for this same thing seconds ago and we don't have it. Customer. Well, I know you have it. I don't think you checked hard enough. Go check again. I don't remember what happened after that. Alls I know is I went and sat down in the office and took my break after that. And when I came back on the floor she was gone. I asked, do you know when you'll get more? Because sometimes I've gotten an answer to that. Check the back assumes they have it. Whereas I realize they don't. Accept it. And see if they'll get more soon. That is how I got the switch. An endangered species. In March 2020. C. When I worked at Walmart. We weren't allowed to sell stuff until it was stocked. We couldn't just get something out of the back and sell it to you because it messed up the automatic inventory system. So even if we did have one in the back, you weren't getting it. You had to wait for it to be restocked like everyone else. Not getting written up, fired so you can get first dibs. I always was willing to check when a customer didn't believe me. It was frequently the only break I got. Fewick Hatchimals. I worked as the ASM at the local as seen on TV store when those things came out. Heading into Xmas season, we got asked so many times every single day if we had any. It was basically a pre-order only item. And it would often take multiple shipments to even fill a pre-order because we sold them so fast. We made a drinking game out of it. It lasted one day. LMAO my GM and I got asked the most. And we each had almost a full 2/6 of our preferred alcohol. We decided to discontinue the game out of fear for everyone's livers. LMAO. Now the customer can check by app for the location of non-existent items or try to price check the item they're holding, which is currently out of stock. I suspect self-checkout doesn't make inventory records any more accurate. Size. There is a particular tea that I and a lot of other customers like in my local Martofwalls that seems to be sold out about half the time that I go there to go shopping. There have been times where I would gasp politely. Yes, I was polite to a representative. Shocker. XD. Ask if there may be more in stock. And they would either say, no, we don't have any more. Sorry. We just received a truckload recently that hasn't been put on the floor yet. Let me check. Let me check real quick. Goes into the back and comes back with one or more of the tea in question. Is this enough? Quote. I admit that I may ask a representative every now and then about the tea if it isn't on the shelf. However, I mostly just leave well enough alone and go without it for a while. The tea? Swiss diet green tea with pomegranate blueberry. It is very popular. Winces, I just tempted fate and Murphy. Unless I volunteer to check the back. Nah. That's a storytelling break. Depends on how many are involved. Would be rude to leave in the middle of Melissa's story. My favorite checking the back story is when I explained that it wasn't in stock. I knew exactly what it looked like and assured them we don't have any. They demanded that I check in the back anyway. So I left. Went and waited 3 minutes. Grabbed a random box and came out to her, and while still far away I shouted, "I found it. We had one after all." When I got closer I showed them the hairdryer that I brought out. It was just awesome to see their face go from excited to bewildered and say, "That's not what I wanted." I replied, "Yeah, I know. I told you we didn't have any in the back. Since you're not willing to believe me to know what we sell, why should I believe you to know what you wanted?" Quote. I had a clueless gentleman come in about December 23rd in the early 1990s. Who could understand that we were sold out of the hot toy of the year? Just like everyone else was. Oh, the days of working retail. My favorite thing from retail was getting garden seeds delivered about Christmas time to the frozen tundra of northern MN.
Bravo.
I mortified myself with this. At my first retail job, sometimes we didn't put out things fast enough to restock. So often something that appeared out of stock really was in the back. So whenever I went shopping after that, I'd often ask if something might be in the back and was genuinely confused at the stink eye I got. Checking the back was my favorite thing to do when I worked retail. Just a little 5 minutes break. Yep, did this many times. To be fair, I'd let the customer know we didn't have anything in back and would only waste their time if they insisted. I also had someone mad about a bit of extra loose serging on a sweatshirt. It was the last in that size, and they refused to believe they could just trim the threads. I even offered a bit of a discount. Nope, not good enough. They insisted. Then I found one more in the back. Wow. AKA I cut the threads my damn self and they paid full price. Whatevs. I used to work at a secondhand store, and people would constantly ask if I could check the back for a different size. As a customer, I ask if there is back stock and then accept whatever answer the staff member gives. They'd know better than any customer would anyway. Who are these people that somehow believe that a shop would possibly have extra stock somewhere? That the customer could not purchase it? If a shop has stock of an item, it will be on display. Can't sell something no one can see, and shops go out of business if they don't sell goods. Therefore there is never any extra stock out back. Ah, the customer-induced break. They were great unless you had a manager that sent and actually expected you to look. Knowing how inaccurate the inventory systems are, when I go to get something that only has a few left, I'll start by asking them if it shows 3 or fewer on the screens. If it does, I'll give them the option to go check. Especially if the thing I'm after is a small item that is more difficult to track down.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.